I'd like to share some thoughts about the way we experience creation care, starting with the word creation. Whether you're a person of faith or not, there are plenty of problems in the natural world. Each problem is real, and somebody ought to do something. Many are. That's where the Sierra Club and others come in. Still, as a person of faith, my deep identity lies elsewhere. I do not understand myself as being a climate warrior. I'm a child of God. Saying creation implies the presence of a creator. This is language that explains both the what and the why. God's work is restoration and recreation. Creation Care Ministry is one of the ways in which we engage with God's work of restoration. Now, I hesitate to call this a side benefit, but creation care will enrich your reading of scriptures. There are passages which simply cannot be understood in their richness without a deeper understanding of the natural world. Here's an example from Mark. Immediately after his baptism, Jesus is driven into the wilderness, where he's in the presence of wild animals and the angels minister to him. How do you understand that context? I'd always assumed this meant that the natural world was threatening and antagonistic. Jesus was in a dangerous place, and God protected him. But based on what I've learned about ecosystems, now I ask, wild animals? Wild in whose opinion? Animals don't call themselves wild. Plants don't care about our groupings into phylum. Wild is a human construct, by which we mean beyond our ability to control. Jesus entered into a space that was beyond human manipulation, one that operated according to God's creation design. And in that space, the angels ministered to him. This story visualizes a return to the Garden of Eden, where divine beings join with all creation in safety. If you grant me this naturalized interpretation, then you will see what Mark wants you to know. God's work from all time before and all time to come is held together in the person of Jesus. Mark wants you to know whose you are and where you are. We may be in a broken world, but we are halfway home. The intent of God's recreation is irresistible. Every life saved, every human violation of nature made right, every step of renewal is one step closer home. Now that word care. Caring has to be a choice. It's not too much of a stretch here to return to the story of Jesus. For God so loved the world, he gave his only Son. Caring is deeply rooted in Christian identity. Caring implies a willingness to forego privilege in order to meet the needs of another. I have to believe that if I let go, God will not let go of me. There's a trust element. Given the climate crisis, I see nothing but hard questions ahead. Let me ask just a couple of them. First, endless suburbs mandate endless commuting. Would you be willing to approve zoning that allows for more urban density in exchange for less carbon pollution from automobiles? Or retrofitting an older home for energy efficiency could cost some people as much as $30,000. Would you spend the money? The biblical witness tells us that choices rightly made produce joy, that deep sense of being in right relationship. Jesus talked about it this way in Matthew. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he had found one pearl of great price, he went and sold all that he had, and he bought it. Those are hard choices. Blessing to you as you work out your faith in fear and trembling. God's peace. Amen.